prepared for things lurking behind the corners in Cinemania's Thrillers Countdown? Feel at home as we look at our favourite movie dads. And be inspired when we find out the top 5 coaches in films. All this and more as we look at the silver screen's best and worst in Cinemania. But first, we're looking at all things thrilling and chilling as we count down Cinemania's top 5 thrillers. At number 5 is the remake of the 1970s cult classic, The Wicker Man.
I fear she is in danger, so now I turn to you. Be careful and believe nothing that you see or hear.
The Wicker Man tells the story of a sheriff investigating the disappearance of a young girl from a small island, who discovers a larger mystery lurking among the island's secretive neo-pagan community.
My little girl is still here.
Nicolas Cage, who is cast as the investigating sheriff in The Wicker Man, steps into the shoes of Edward Woodward, who played the same role in the 1973 original. Woodward, now 76, was offered the part again, but refused, in part due to his age.
Hello?
You suspect foul play. The Wicker Man returns.
Who's the Wicker Man?
This thrilling thriller thrills all in 5th position. Coming in 4th place is the classic thriller starring Bette Davis and Joan Crawford, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? 1962's Baby Jane is the story of a war of wills between 2 aging sisters, one a former child star, the other an ex-screen celebrity who's confined to a wheelchair.
Oh, Blanche. You know we got rats in the cellar?
Both are filled with envy for each other, which leads to hate and revenge. The on-screen antics and build-up of suspense makes this thriller worthy of 4th position. Coming in at number 3 is the Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx thriller, Collateral. Cruise's rare villainous turn on Collateral saw him playing Vincent, an assassin hired by a drug cartel to murder key witnesses in an impending trial. He has 5 executions planned for the night and ends up having to take a cab driver played by Jamie Foxx hostage to drive him from one location to the next.
What are you going to do?
Take him down.
He's already killed witnesses. He's coming to kill you. I'm not playing. Just going with my work. FBI, hands in the air! Some hands up!
While Cruise is usually known for being the good guy, his turn playing the villain was praised as one of his best roles to date, making Collateral a fitting thriller for 3rd place on Cinemania's list of top 5 thrilling thrillers.
New news. We're ahead of schedule.
At number 2, we find a claustrophobic's worst nightmare, Panic Room. Panic Room starred Jodie Foster as a newly divorced mother who wakes up to find intruders in her house. Waking up her teenage daughter, the 2 seek refuge in the house's Panic Room, a secret room designed for such a purpose.
Take what you want and get out of my house!
Unfortunately, the burglars don't leave. In fact, what they want is in the Panic Room. The situation soon turns serious for the claustrophobic mother and diabetic daughter, resulting in one scary thriller. Finally, Cinemania's #1 thrilling thriller is the thriller to end all thrillers. It's Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. The name Hitchcock is usually closely followed by the title Master of Suspense. There's no better example of this than this scene from the 1960 black and white film. The shower scene from this thriller is one of the most memorable clips in cinematic history, demonstrating just how vulnerable we are while bathing. Making Psycho Cinemania's #1 thriller. The heroes, the villains, the goofballs, and the greats. That's right, we're talking about movie dads. They can alter the audience's views between fathers and their children. Let's look at some of Cinemania's favourites.
Is that your father?
Who could forget Dustin Hoffman's fatherly character in Meet the Fockers? He openly embraced his son's father-in-law and instantly felt comfortable doing anything around him.
It's nice all of us being here together, isn't it, Jack?
American Pie fans know actor Eugene Levy for his role playing Jim's dad. In the films, Eugene administered some profound, if uncomfortable, advice to his son.
What about the dining room?
Back away from the animal.
In the family film Yours, Mine and Ours, Dennis Quaid played the father of 8 children and the stepfather of another 10. After finding success in The Parent Trap, Quaid was eager to play another father in a family film.
Outstanding.
Jack Nicholson's character Warren in the film About Schmidt is a father who takes it upon himself to talk his daughter out of marrying groom-to-be Randall, a profoundly mediocre, underachieving waterbed salesman. His daughter, however, doesn't appreciate his suggestions. Big Fish, a heartwarming story about the relationship of a dying father and his son, is made even more special because director Tim Burton turned to the drama following the death of his own parents.
You tell lies, Dad. You tell amusing lies.
Kiefer Sutherland's father, Donald Sutherland, often plays fathers on screen.
Yes, I shall never see her again.
His performance playing the loving Mr. Bennett in the 2005 film Pride and Prejudice came about after director Joe Wright saw him in Cold Mountain. Sutherland reminded Wright of his own father.
Mr. Bennett! Thank you, Papa.
Mentors and coaches help inspire film characters to achieve what they thought was unachievable. Stay with us to count down the top movie coaches. At #5, we find not so much a remake, but a replay of the 1974 classic, The Longest Yard, featuring a couple of football coaches.
Looks like you could use a little help.
No offense, my man, but you're a little seasoned.
Seasoned? I'm not asking to play, I'll coach. I'm Nate Scarborough.
Burt Reynolds returned for the remake, but gave his role to funny man Adam Sandler and took on the part of Nate Scarborough. Together, they form a team of inmates to take on the guards, coaching them to victory in a football game fixed to turn out quite differently.
Why can't I be quarterback, huh? Hit me, I'm open. That's the reason. Sit down and shut up.
Man, I was so bad at sports, they used to pick me after the white kids.
Looks like you could use some help here.
The unlikely teammates unite when they find out they're playing the prison guards. The two coaches promise the Cons a chance to exact revenge in a bone-crushing showdown where anything goes.
Well, if we gotta cut him, you're doing it.
At number 4 is the uplifting and inspiring Peaceful Warrior. Based on Dan Millman's autobiographical novel, Way of the Peaceful Warrior, the film followed a competitive gymnast who finds the key to enlightenment in an unlikely setting, a gas station. Scott Mecklowitz plays Millman, a gymnast who's close to qualifying for the Olympics, but nightmares of a terrible injury plague him.
Well, how would we start?
There is no starting a stop.
On one sleepless occasion, he heads out for a run at 3 a.m. and stumbles upon an old-school, full-service Texaco station and a man he dubs Socrates. What Socrates has to offer turns out to be about unlearning old ways of thinking, lessons that don't come easily.
When did you do all this?
When you were laying in that hospital.
By using non-traditional philosophy, Socrates teaches Dan how to be fully in the moment. At number 3 on Cinemania's list of top 5 coach films is The Bad News Bears. After playing the foul-mouthed drunk in Bad Santa, Billy Bob Thornton played an equally unsubtle baseball coach.
All right, kid. You had a helmet on. Imagine if you didn't. You know what I'm saying?
In the remake of the 1976 classic, Thornton played Coach Buttermaker, who leads a team of young misfits and imparts wisdom about their national pastime.
You guys suck.
What happened to you, Tanner?
Gonna fight.
With who?
The 6th grade.
Coaxed into taking on the hopelessly inept team by a high-maintenance mother, Buttermaker makes a half-hearted go of it.
Coach as I can be. But I know I can do it because I know this game. You with me? And all my years, I gotta tell you, this is my favorite team.
This remake updates the original, making it Cinemania's 3rd best coach film.
I'm tied, guys. And I know a tie's a lot like kissing your sister, but the way we've been coming along, it's more like kissing a really hot stepsister.
If you're sick of boxing and baseball, this film features a good old-fashioned spectator sport.
You just don't fit in. Prestidigitation. Because it's how I feel all the time. Prestidigitation.
That's correct.
A spelling competition.
My name's Akilah Anderson, and I'm 11 years old.
Akilah and the Bee is the story of an inner-city black girl whose innate talent for spelling makes her a surprise contender for the National Spelling Bee.
Understood?
Whatever.
A UCLA professor, played by Lawrence Fishburne, decides to coach her for the National Spelling Bee, and the film follows Akilah as she gains an appreciation for her own set of unique skills and talents.
I'm not insolent.
You want to win it so
Fishburne presented
badly.
the stern but loving father figure lacking in Akilah's life. This film proves that coaches aren't just for sports. Akilah and the Bee comes in at number 2.
So say it.
I want to win.
Say it louder, please.
I want to win.
You want to win what?
I want to win a National Spelling Bee!
Are you some preacher?
Cinemania's top coach film stars Samuel L. Jackson as Coach Carter. Inspired by true events, Coach Carter tells the story of high school basketball coach Ken Carter. Carter received praise as well as criticism after he benched his entire undefeated team for their poor academic performance.
You put a lot on the gym. Are you crazy?
Basketball's the only thing that these boys have got. Now, we're going to let Carter take that away from them.
While trying to teach his team that they need to rely on more than just basketball for their futures, he soon realizes that he's affected them in more ways than one.
Playing hard, not enough. No, you have to humiliate your opponent. Taunt him after every score. You won 4 games last season. 4! What gives you the right to take the game that I love with trash talk and taunting?
Coach, they were John too.
So? You can't show some class? Act like a champion?
Director Thomas Carter recruited real basketball players to fill out the team, which means that Jackson was coaching a real basketball team. This inspiring sport film and its coach helped Coach Carter take out the top position on Cinemania's list of top 5 coach films.
What are you doing? What? You do that Move to the bench.
Time now to turn our attention to models turned actors and find out who succeeded when they made their transition. While she didn't look very beautiful in her Oscar-winning role in Monster, Charlize Theron started out as a model and a dancer. It wasn't until an injury put an end to her ballet career that this beauty looked into acting.
So you've been convicted of a felony.
Model-turned-actress Mila Jovovich was discovered at the age of 11 and has been on the front of over 100 magazine covers. She soon mixed modelling with acting and has been appearing in films ever since 1988. Model-turned-actress Cameron Diaz first made her transition opposite funny man Jim Carrey in the 1994 smash hit, The Mask. At the age of 16, she spent 5 years travelling the world pursuing modelling. Today, she can be seen gracing red carpets or on the silver screen opposite some of cinema's greats.
I didn't know there was a right way and a wrong way.
In 1994, Gisele Bündchen was discovered in Brazil. She was 13 years old. She's now widely regarded as the most successful model of all time. In 2004, she made the leap from magazine covers to the silver screen in the film Taxi, playing a Brazilian bank robber.
Oh!
Our final model-turned-actress is Andie MacDowell. This model first appeared in print and television advertisements for L'Oreal. Her acting resume includes films like Sex, Lies and Videotape, Groundhog Day, and 4 Weddings and a Funeral. These models have become successful actresses because they all know how to turn on their charm in front of the camera.
Piggly Wiggly.
We now look at the trafficking and terrorism and the using and abusing. Stay with us as we count down the top 5 films featuring drugs. Cinemania's number 5 film, A Scanner Darkly, is based on a Philip K. Dick's novel of the same name, which was based on the author's personal drug experiences. A Scanner Darkly used an animation technique called rotoscoping, which, by imposing animation over film, makes the main actors recognisable on screen.
Give it to the public like a gift. I mean, come on, this is...
It tells the story of a group of friends who end up spying on each other as the authorities seek to crack down on drug terrorism. Post-production took 18 months, and every minute of the film took around 500 hours to animate, with the help of computers.
Sure there are only 9 gears on this bike?
8.
One of the film's stars, Robert Downey Jr., who has in the past been in trouble with the law for drug possession, joked that he spent 25 years
Absolutely
researching
right,
the role.
Donna. Who do we know is our authority on this type of bike?
Coming in at number 4 on Cinemania's list of drug-related films is the comedy Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Get up, we're going to White Castle. We're starving. I forgot my cell phone. You want to run back and get it? No, we've gone too far.
The plot for this movie is simple. It tells the tale of 2 friends who, after a night spent smoking marijuana, decide they must visit a White Castle hamburger restaurant to satisfy their extreme case of the munchies.
Your car's in the parking lot. Here are your keys.
Their efforts to find a White Castle outlet take them on a stoned road trip across New Jersey.
And 200 for the car. What happened to my car? You'll see.
The fact that the 2 friends were Asian and Indian was a deliberate ploy by the writers who wanted to explode the common racial stereotypes often deployed in Hollywood. This light-hearted comedy comes in at number 4. Our number 3 drug film, Candy, stars Oscar nominee Heath Ledger. Candy is the tough and at times shocking story of Dan and his girlfriend, whose lives descend into living hell because of their dependency on heroin. Jeffrey Rush, another Australian actor, is a scene stealer as a gay professor who supplies the couple with drugs when they fall on hard times. Divided into 3 parts, the narrative follows the young lovers through heaven and its sex-fueled bliss, earth and its life in brothels, and the hell of mental breakdown. This film's moving look into the lives of this drug-addicted couple see Candy come in 3rd position.
So,
at number 2, we find City of God, a look at violence and truth in the streets of Brazil, which both shocks and dazzles. Based on the book by Paulo Lin, the movie is set in 1960s and 70s Rio de Janeiro, where gun-wielding teens fight for control to sell drugs in the street. The movie traces the neighbourhood's decline over a decade and a half, from a sun-baked shanty town where the children play happily into shadowy slum. With over 40,000 violent deaths a year in Brazil, most of them drug-related, and with a shocking parallel justice system, director Fernando Morel just wanted the world to know what's going on. City of God, which was filmed documentary style, has stirred up more debate than debut director Morel had hoped for. Frightening, thrilling and funny, City of God has the depth to match its style, making it Cinemania's 2nd best drug film. Cinemania's number 1 film featuring drugs is Maria Full of Grace. This film follows the story of a young Colombian girl, Maria, who accepts a risky offer in order to escape her country for the United States. The desperate 17-year-old leaves her dead-end job stripping roses to become a mule, a job which involves ingesting drugs in large capsules and smuggling them into America.
Me parece que es un trabajo bacano porque usted va, lleva lo que tiene que llevar, lo entrega, le dan su billete y ya, todo sano.
For this simple act, she would earn more money than she could imagine. Of course, the task is not as easy as it seems, and Maria faces a harrowing week.
Si lo que lleva adentro se pierde en el camino, vamos a su casa y conversamos con su abuelita, con su mamá, con su hermana. ¿Entendió?
Catalina Sandino Fandino played Maria in this Spanish-language drama, and for her performance, she received an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. This remarkable film is Cinemania's top drug-related feature. That's all we've got time for. Tune in next time for your dose of Cinemania.